All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. We're going to just jump right into it. There's nobody here listening, so no point in me talking a whole bunch. I'm going to paint some shit. I got a bunch of stuff sitting around my desk that I need to paint in no particular order, so that's what I'm going to do. Starting with... Holy crap, the lag is intense. Starting with... What am I going to start with? Starting with... I'm going to reach all the way over here because my little remote control isn't working. Starting with this piece right here. This is yet another pinup from Artisan Guild. Even though I said I was pretty much done painting pinups for a while, I lied. I'm painting another pinup. Is what it is. Sue me. Hope everyone's having a great day. My day has been an adventure. We have a house full of sick children today. We got one with food poisoning, one with some kind of stomach bug, so they're both clingy and miserable. Poor things. Now, you know what? Before we really get rolling, I'm going to jump over here and grab a soda. No music on the stream again. Twitch's soundtrack app simply does not work. And I got hit with another DCMA strike. So no more music until I can figure out some royalty-free system of playing music. That back up. Trying to get everything sorted. Is that light on? Why is that light so dim? There we go. That'll work. That'll do for now. Just trying to get just a very basic white base coat on this fire. I have a couple ideas for this mini that I want to do. But right now it's just, doing some basic color blocking, doing some basic skin tone stuff. Like, we'll get into the fancy shit later. This is an old one from Artisan Guild. This is from their Fighters Guild release a million years ago. Actually, I think it was last year. I was not a Patreon at the time, but I got this one because I like it. Artisan Guild just does my favorite pinup, like these crazy pinups. This is probably the least naked pinup I've painted in a while. I've started a couple minis that actually are wearing armor and clothes and shit, but they're just not as fun to paint. And I've been practicing skin tones recently, so what better way to practice skin tones than to practice something whose skin is entirely showing? We're going to be practicing some other stuff with this one. We're going to practice some object light sourcing, and some directional highlights, directional specular highlighting, and other fancy art words. But first, the base coat, the boring part. The part where we just throw paint at it. Interesting sculpt decision. In the back of this torch, you can actually see part of the torch that's burning, but on the front, it's entirely engulfed in flames. So to see the torch, you actually have to look at the back. I just think that's an interesting sculpting choice. It's all gonna get painted red anyway. Not that big of a deal. Alright, that's a good enough base coat on that white. Moving right along. Let's see. Excuse me. What happened to that skin tone I was using? Is that it? That's it. Just separated a little. Get my mixing brush. Now, see, my wet palette's just a little bit too wet because my paint tends to separate if I leave it out, or if I leave it overnight. Still trying to find the right balance of water in the palette, moisture in the air, airflow. Still trying to find the right balance for this basement. Well, Twitch, is my Twitch going? Hard to tell. Let's find out. I'll click this thing, and I'll look here, and click that, and then click that. Just want to make sure that I am, yeah, okay, I am. Just wanted to make sure that I was, in fact, streaming. Alright. Skin tone. A big section of skin right here that I missed when I started this one. Trying some new paints for my skin tone recipe. They're pretty much the same colors, but they're new paints. And I'm enjoying them thoroughly. They're a little bit rosier than the paint I was using. If you're hoping for like the super exciting stream tonight might not be your night. Sorry to say. Everything's too wet. That's, there we go. Working on these new Pro Acryl paints from Monument Hobbies. I am enjoying them thoroughly. Yeah, that paint has just separated entirely. I am enjoying them entirely. But again, it's a matter of I've got to figure out our balance here on the wet palette. It seems that no matter how much I mix that, it's just way too wet. Look at that. Just soaked. Which is counterproductive. It's definitely not what I need right now. I don't need overly wet. It's alright. We'll sort it out in a second. We'll sort it out. I'm not worried. I want to get this last little corner of skin tone base coated before I start working on anything else, really. It'd just be much easier to block in the rest of the colors once I have. Another thing I'm doing, so what I normally do on one of these pinup models is I do the skin tone to maybe not 100%, but like 85% done. I do all of the layering and the shading, and then just, you know, once the model's done, then I just go in and do some touch-up stuff. This time, I am just going to put the base coat for the skin down, and then I'm going to go and put the base coat for everything else down too. My gods, this paint is so thin. Awesome. All right. That way, I kind of progress on the Mini more or less simultaneously. Actually, I kind of think I want to bring the skin tone down to here and make these into like sheer stockings. Let's do that. That sounds fun. Doesn't that sound fun? That sounds fun. This means we have to put more skin tone. Basically means that I get to ignore the sculpt on the leg, on the upper thigh, until the very end. Because I'm going to make... You know, this is not appropriate dungeon delving attire, I'll admit. But it's fun to paint. I really wish I had music playing right now. That'd be great. See, when I paint and I'm not streaming, I like to put headphones in and then just play whatever album I'm currently obsessed with just at top volume several times on repeat. But because I keep getting slapped with DCMA strikes for using copyrighted music, even though I'm using royalty-free music, I frustratingly cannot have music on my Twitch stream. There's a section of leg back here that just doesn't want to cover. So I'm going to give that a second to dry and paint something else. Let's see. We're going to do lots of warm colors. Lots of red browns and reds and yellows and oranges. Because I want... eventually, I'm going to, like, over here where her flame is not reaching, I'm going to do a lot of blue highlights to kind of make it look like she's in darkness. Or at least that is the plan. And I really, really want that to contrast strongly with the rest of the Mini. So we're going to do lots of warm colors. This is not as dark or red as I thought it was going to be, but holy damn is it covering beautifully. Makes me want to get, like, I already knew I wanted to get the rest of this paint line. Like, from the minute I tried the first paint. I ordered 10 paints, colors that, you know, I thought would come in handy. And the minute I put the first one on the wet palette, I knew. I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with these paints. But I'm a poor person, so I'm going to be collecting the rest of the lines slowly. Well, probably one paint at a time. It dries a little bit more orangey, like brown red than I thought it would. Because it goes on, this paint goes on just lipstick red. But it dries down. So that's good. That's good. Makes my life easier. I still have quite a bit of the undercoat showing through. Hard to see on camera, I know. That's just because my camera sucks. But take my word for it, lots of the undercoat still showing through. I've been learning recently about undertone and overtone of paint. Been trying to basically, over the last couple weeks, give myself an art school education. It's not going great, but I'm trying. Uh-oh. Felt some glue pop. She's probably going to pop off this base here in a second. This is why I'm doing this mini and the method that I'm doing it, kind of the order that I'm doing it, where I'm just base coating, I'm not doing anything else, is because I don't have to be super careful, and I can just kind of slop paint around right now while I'm still figuring out what I want to do with this mini. Oh my god. Of course, as soon as I start streaming, my phone blows up. That's just how it works. So how's everybody doing out there? Say hi. Let your presence be known so that I don't have to spend the next couple hours just literally talking to myself. I learned today that if you're watching and you have me on mute, if you have turned the volume down on Twitch, then it does not count towards my viewership, so don't do that. Turn the volume down on your phone if you must. But even better, let's just chat about things. Now, I am multi-streaming right now. I'm streaming to YouTube, to Twitch, and to Facebook. So there is a bit of a lag, so our conversation will be slow, but we should still totally have a conversation. Ask me about painting, ask me about Dungeons and Dragons, ask me about literally anything, painting related or not, and I will talk to you about it. It might be hard to see there, but I've done her corset, her kind of underbust corset bustier thing in this beautiful rich brown that I got. And I'm very, very excited to continue to play with that. Oh my god, this paint is so good. This goes on beautifully thin and smooth. And even. I didn't even realize how kind of clunky my paints were going on my minis until I started painting with this stuff. I was like, oh my god, paint can go on a mini evenly? Weird. Alright, let's go through and do another coat. Get it nice and opaque. My kind of headcanon story for this mini is this is the member of the Fighters Guild who has a side hustle as, well, like an OnlyFans. And this particular snapshot is her posing for the Fighters Guild fundraiser calendar. You go back in and touch some more of this skin tone. Just trying to get it a little closer to finished. It's still very, very see-through in some spots. Too see-through. On things like clothes, I can let that slide, but skin tone, no. Gotta be opaque. There's an extra couple layers of this skin tone on the face, so I gotta remember to be real careful that I don't start blotting out details and sculpt. Because I thought I had an idea, and then I painted over the face, and then I changed my mind and painted over the face back to what it was. All right. Let's get back into our brown. Go through and just get the gloves and the boots. Because there is some actual like leather boot behind the armor here. Like I said, I want to keep a lot of this paint job pretty simple. So we're not going to do too much crazy stuff. What's going on here? Why are you doing that? Aha! There we go. Now we can get somewhere with this brown. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Oh, hold on. Okay. Well, I screwed that up. Oh well, I can paint over it. The boots only go up to her ankles. I thought they were much taller than that, and her greaves here were just in the front, but no, they wrap around. So that's alright. We can fix it. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for the armor, which I haven't decided yet, because I definitely want to try some non-metallic metal. But then non-metallic metal with object source lighting in the composition might be biting off more than I can chew. We'll give it a shot, though. Why the hell not? Worst comes to worst, I throw this mini across the room and print another one. We're only wearing one glove. And it might not be a glove, it might just be a bare hand, but I'm going to paint it like it's a glove. As wielding a big messer like that, you'd want a glove. I'd want a glove. I seem to have lost Facebook. Or did I? No, I just lost my connection. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. There we go. Maybe now y'all can see what's going on a little better. So, first things first, I have to figure out what the base color of my metal is going to be. I want to do lots of blue highlights. Like specular highlights. I don't know what I'm this many's all over the place right now. This brown is gorgeous. It's like a sandy red purple brown. It's very nice. Bit here that I can go in with this red again. Divide that. Just to give us a little hint of red there under the corset. And back to brown, and back to red, and back to brown, and back to red. The never-ending back and forth. Do a quick coat of brown on this belt. Then I'm going to do something a little bit more fun with it. But I want to start brown. All right. So, we need some reference picture here. Gonna grab some reference pictures. So what is that? That is blue and white. Lots of blues and whites. It's pretty much what I'm thinking. Yeah. How are we going to do that? What are we going to do? I want to start with the lightest blue I have. What is the lightest blue I have? Probably turquoise, jade. Probably this one. And I'm just going to go over all of the armor in this. Nobody has yet taught me how to do non-metallic metals, and as many videos as I've watched on the subject, none of them have stuck in my brain. Obstinate bastard that my brain is. So we're just gonna fucking figure it out ourselves. Maybe. Again, for those of you just joining us, I'm only base coating right now. I'm just doing, like, you know, the basic color blocking. I'm going to go in and do all the blending and special effects and CGI later. Right now, I'm just deciding what color I'm going to be starting each part with. Sometimes that is a harder choice than it should be. If you're watching and, you know, just watching at home, feel free to say hi. I can't have music on the stream just yet, so pretty much the only entertainment you're going to get is chatting with me. You can chat with me on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, or on Discord. We can talk about anything you like. It doesn't have to be miniatures. It doesn't have to be painting. It doesn't have to be art. Talk about anything you want. there was a time where every stream I would talk about donations and Venmos and subscribers and followers. Today it's just about interaction. Today it's just about let's hang out. Hey, thank you, Jen. Because if we're not chatting about stuff, eventually I'm just going to turn off my brain and paint. And I'll sit here and paint in silence and just watch that, I guess. So what I think I'm going to do to kind of do the object source lighting here, because I have this, this is going to be on fire, and it's going to be casting light down onto the Mini, is I'm just going to do everything as I would normally, and then go in and glaze in some orange highlights closer to the flame and some red highlights away. She a pirate? I don't know. She could be a pirate. I don't know that I'd wear plate armor if I was a pirate, though. It feels like it'd be difficult to swim. And I feel like swimming would be a large part of pirate life. It certainly is when I play Sea of Thieves. I feel like that's a pretty good color to start with. And then really, from here, we just have to build the highlights up to white, which is not a far jump. And then build in the shadows, and that tends to go on significantly easier than the brights do. So, I don't know. We'll see how it all comes together. Might look like shit. I don't know. And then we're going to glaze in some blacks and browns up here, which I think in this sculpt is supposed to be part of her boot, but I'm going to do it like it's stockings. Because I only really tried that see-through fabric thing once. And I want to try again. Oh, that's a strap. Never mind. Yeah, it's hard to see the sculpt through this camera. I was going to switch my cameras around and see if I could get a better picture for the Mini, but I just didn't have time today. I'll do it before the next stream. Do it before Monday. And I think I've decided, since this model kind of has like a bombshell pinup kind of thing going, it feels very Gil Elfgren. I'm gonna do blonde hair. So really, all I have left is I gotta do the armor. I gotta do the base coat on the torch. I mean, it's coming along faster than you might think. It doesn't look very finished yet. But, you know, making a miniature look good is in the last 20%. Basically, 80% of painting a miniature is setting up for the last 20%. And it's the last 20% that's the really fun stuff. Gonna need more blue before this is all said and done. Conveniently, I have plenty. I hope. I've been switching all of my paints over to dropper bottles because I've been using this wet palette system. And, oh, all my cords fell. That's why it's all crowded over here. And the one downside that I've been able to find is that in the dropper bottles, it's harder to tell how much paint you have left. As soon as you shake a dropper bottle once, the inside gets completely coated with the paint color and therefore is opaque. So that's troublesome, but the improvement in my painting that the wet palette alone has provided is well worth it. Get in there. There's like one little corner of Sculpt where I could not for the life of me to get paint to go in. Alright. Do the armor on the arm next. Let's get some more blue. Ooh, threw a little bit of paint there. It's alright, that's not the last rust gray that'll end up on this painting table. It's certainly not the first. brush was getting a little beat up. So I'm just going to keep repeating for those of you who have been watching for a while, which is nobody, I'm pretty sure. But if you have been, you're going to hear a couple times me talk about, hey, if you're watching out there, and let's chat, interact, say hi, ask questions, make comments, troll, do whatever you got to do. Let's chat. Let's hang out. I think my plan for the blue highlights is still gonna work, even though I'm doing the armor in blue tones, because to the eye, if I do it right, if I am successful, to the eye, the armor won't look blue, it'll look steel, it'll look metallic, like it's reflective. Now, if I was a smart person, I'd probably be trying to do this in silver. Or grays, I mean. But I'm not. Because I pulled up a reference picture, and I found the first reference picture that I liked, and it was blue. So that's what we're doing. This is one of those techniques that I just really need to get a handle on to kind of take my painting to the next level. And so far, no handle to be had. I've tried a couple different times on a couple different minis, and I just don't think I've been successful yet. On my monitor here, it looks like everything is completely out of focus and blown out. Is that what everybody else is seeing as well? I don't really have much in the way of a monitor. Hey Greta, good to see you. I am working on yet another Artisan Guild pinup. I'm gonna be trying some fun kind of special effecty techniques, but I gotta get it base coated first. All right. Yeah, on my screen, because I'm a little ways away, and because it's quite small, everything just looks like a big white blur. Boobs. Got hella cleavage. You know, it started as kind of a joke, but I actually really enjoy painting these pin-up-y models because I've gotten some amazing practice on my skin tones. Like, my painting of skin tones has improved leaps and bounds painting these things. It's all about the boobs and the butts. Trying to see the sculpt in there. See how this goes together. I'll just do that blue too. I can't tell what it is. Can't tell if it's arm or glove or armor, so blue it is. Hey, John. Good to see you, my friend. We are almost done with our base coat. Now we can start doing some fun stuff. I appreciate it, John. I'm just a guy trying to paint some toys, that's all. And have some conversation while I do it. Because here's the thing. If I wasn't streaming, and my wonderful partner can attest to this, if I wasn't streaming painting miniatures, I'd still be painting miniatures. I'd still be down here in the basement plugging away at these things. So it's nice to do this and do this painting in a semi-social kind of way. Alright. Just made a split-second decision. Hey, another armor cast? Another armor cast Titan? What next? Next, we are going to put a base coat down on the hair. Sweet. Oh, wow, that's a lot more yellow than I thought it was going to be. That's all right. Hey, I'm looking forward to that Reaver. I have No Handlebars by the Flowbots. Very thoroughly stuck in my head for some reason. Hey, Slinkus. Yeah, you know, we're kind of living through the second and third verse of that song. Things are going good. Haha, I got you, Greta. Now you have to suffer with me. And I'm only really suffering because I can't listen to it on stream. Things are going good, Slinkus. I'm just chilling, painting some minis. For every one that I paint, it seems that I find myself with 2 or 3 more. John, trust me, even as an insider, incredulous is the appropriate response. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of salty about everything because, like, for the last 3.5 years, I've been warning motherfuckers, and everyone has just considered it hyperbolic, and oh, he's not really a fascist, he's not really an authoritarian, they're just being exaggerative. And then, last Wednesday happened, and it's, who could have seen this coming? Salty about it. That's right. That's where we are tonight. Tonight we're painting. We are doing the thing that makes us happy. All right. Almost done with our hair base coat. Because again, I'm just base coating. I'm not doing any blending. I'm not doing any shading. I'm not doing any highlighting. I am just base coating. Painting in the lines. This is essentially my process for figuring out what color I'm going to paint everything. Let's see. Armor's base coated. Clothes are base coated more or less. Maybe that one. Ooh. I need to get an airbrush. If nothing else, just a base coat indoors. Because right now, I'm stepping out the back door with my rattle can and praying that I'm not going to get, my primer sprayed back onto me in the wind. And 9 times out of 10, I'm doing it in the dark. An airbrush would be mighty handy. And I used to have one. That was something I was talking about the other day. I used to have an airbrush. I had like a cheap like Masters airbrush. And I have no idea what happened to it. Not a clue in the world. I have the compressor. But the brush itself has lost to time. Mother fucker. I just broke the sword off. These resin minis, man. Fragile little bastards. That's alright. It gives me a better angle to base coat this crossguard. One of these days I'll find my airbrush or I'll buy a new one. I even still have some airbrush primer. From a billion years ago. Probably no good anymore, but I still have it. Alright, let's see if I can... Let's give that a second to dry, and then we'll see if we can't glue my damn model back together. How irritating. That's too much super glue. There. That's better. We are very gently... Fuck. Very... Now we're doing it very quickly, gluing this sword back on. And I'm out of glue. Fuck, come on. Well, looks like I completely fucked that up. And I'm pretty sure I just ate super glue. That's probably not good for you. Oh, whatever. Yep, I screwed that up. Nothing for it now. Shit's got accelerator on it. Alright, we're going to set that aside so that super glue can dry. Oh. Alright. Something else to paint. I have this really interesting bust. I've never painted a bust before. Thought I'd give it a shot. And I want to try some things. Let's see. First, I want... What color do I want? I want this. Well, sorry everyone who thought they were done watching me base coat. I've never painted a bust before. I've never even painted anything on this scale before, which is kind of why I want to do it. Let's put myself to the test a little bit. Oh my goodness, phone. So conveniently, the base coating on this bust is going to go by much faster, because I really only have 3 things to base coat. That's her skin, her hair, and then the features of her face. Should be pretty quick. On the downside, I have to be very aware of the direction my brush is moving and how opaque all of my layers are, because on a scale like this, you're definitely going to see little fuck-ups. And little fuck-ups could be the name of my fucking art book. If I ever do an art book. If I ever get to the point where I consider myself an artist and do an art book. In the meantime, I'm just gonna give this a shot. Like I said, I've never done anything close to this scale. Let's go ahead and get a rough coat on the face while my brush is nearly empty. One of the things I've planned on with this bust, and I don't know why I've been thinking about it, but something gave me the inspiration, some piece that I saw gave me the inspiration that I want to do a green tone in the shadows. Like, I kind of want her to look a little bit sickly, almost, or I don't know if sickly's the right word. She definitely should not look normal. There should be some otherworldliness about it. So that's kind of what I'm going to be going for. And for as scared as I am of this thing, it's actually a really simple sculpt. And if you look carefully, you can see like some of the print lines where it didn't print very well. So this is never going to be like a contest winner. But it could be fun. Chose this kind of gray peach skin tone to kind of start that pale, weird, otherworldliness kind of idea. It's a very gray skin tone to base, to start with. I'm still not done with it. I'm just giving it a second to dry before I go through and tear it up anymore. Yeah, a couple more layers of the skin base tone and we can do something else. But in the meantime, I want to get this as perfectly opaque as I can. This brush has had it. I have beaten this brush to death. Goodbye, poor brush. I appreciate all the hard work you've done. Look at that. Just miserably beaten. I appreciate all the work you've done, brush, but it's time to retire. Nice and smooth. God, this is taking forever. We are an hour and a half into this stream, and I have accomplished practically nothing. Par for the course. Perfectly on brand. We're doing great. Getting there. Getting there. Just a couple places where it's just not as opaque as I want it. Maybe I don't need it perfectly opaque everywhere. Because, I mean, I am going to go through with, like, at least 4 different skin tones and some shadows and some highlights and shit like that. But, you know, at this, like I said, at this scale, I really don't know what I'm doing. So I just want to I want to do every step as though it's the last step. As though after this step, it's done. Because if I don't, I fear that I'm going to miss something, because I've never painted a bust before. I don't know what I'm doing. This is out of my wheelhouse. Uh-oh. Starting to lose a little detail here. There we go. That's better. Much better. Many betters. That might be about as opaque as I can get that most places. I mean, I can still do a little bit to that arm. Alright. Now, before I really do anything else, I had to sneeze. Sorry. Get her eyeball colored in a little. Oh, that's creepy. That's wild. It looks so wild right now. Ooh. I just had an idea, and now I have a decision to make. Alright. Going with plan A. Because what I just thought of, I thought about like, alright, let's do this as though it was lit at night. Right? So we'll go over it with a dark wash and a dark filter, and then like, build up lots of blue highlights. And then do her eyes. Instead of doing eyes in her eye sockets, do like little galaxy globes, like she's looking into space and space is reflecting in her eye. But I don't think so. Maybe, well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just do a weird chick? Or should I do a weird chick staring into space? Polls are open now. Vote below. Vote now. Vote in the chat box. Just yell. Yell real loud so that I'll hear you through the window. That's one vote. Might be the only vote. Incoherent screaming. That seems like a vote for space. I'm looking at reference pictures. My concern is, I've never done it. I've never even tried it. So now I gotta find reference pictures. To kind of guide me along the way. That's okay. I mean, basically, you heard the important part. Let's see here. There's a good one. All right. All right. All right. All right. I need a good dark gray. You don't need to hear the options because you have voted for screaming. And I get to do this, which isn't going to be horrifying at all. What about your outer possum? How's he doing? Painting the eyes black. Because by the time I'm done, they're not going to look like eyes. They're going to look like orbs of galaxy stuck in her face hole. And that's going to kind of be the center point and the focal point of the mini. All right, while the horror orbs in her face are... So really, what you're saying is that you put out kibble for the possum. Because you should always put out kibble for possums. Now, this might work, it might not. But I have this paint, and it is a blue glaze. And I am going to do this entire mini in a blue glaze. Try and get it as nice and smooth and even as possible. Okay, this is not going to work the way I wanted it to. So plan B is the less fun plan, and that is the plan where I literally go through and paint this whole goddamn thing dark blue. Not going to work the way I wanted to. Setting the bust aside, going back to the pinup. All right. Not getting very far in anything right now, and it's not exactly my favorite thing. But we have a cool idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing it come to fruition. Let's see. I want to take something a little bit farther down the line here. So I want to get something a little closer to finished. So, what do I want to do? Let's do the next step of skin. Where is... Hey, skunky boys need love too. Shit. Just doing some skin highlights, just to move down the road a little bit. Now that I've got more or less everything base coated, I think it's relatively safe enough to move on to the next. Mixing up some mid-tone here between the base tone and the highlight tone. And then literally just using the reflection of the painting light to inform where my highlights need to go. Damn it. Ugh. I'm not on my game tonight, folks. Just not on my game. My blends look like shit. I'm breaking stuff. Where is it? There it is. Nope. Nope. I'm very focused right now on undoing this horrible mistake that I've made. There. Let's finish covering that up. No. Almost. We almost made it through the eye. There's only one. Her hair is covering her other eye. We've almost made it. There we go. Oh, the eye is done. And it don't look half bad. Gonna get it right up close to the camera because the camera's right by the light, and I need it right up close by the light because I can't see what I'm doing. Damn it. Alright, face. Face has been faced. Yeah, there's a lot of boob there. Come on, focus. Lots of boob. Ooh, that's very bright. That is much brighter than I thought it was going to be. if it just looks like I'm just like slopping paint all over this mini right now, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm trying to replicate the picture that I have pulled up, but I'm doing a piss poor job. I can't blend for shit. That looks nothing like that. Alright, take two. We will undo what I have done. Let it dry for a second. In the meantime, we can do this, because I know this paint is good. We can start glazing this in. And it doesn't have to be perfect right up around the top, because I'm going to go around the top with like a dark band, as stockings are sometimes want to have. Like this. I got a little bit away from me there. Well, that already pretty much looks like what I wanted. I mean, let's be real. None of this mini looks like I wanted. But you know what I mean. Yeah, she's quite not coming along the way I wanted. I'm starting to get frustrated with her. I'm starting to get frustrated with myself, honestly, because I just can't blend. Cannot blend fucking colors. And that is the major hindrance, it seems, in my painting, is I can't get two colors to go together. And it's very frustrating. Because, I mean, I won't say that it's mini painting basics. It's more like mini painting, you know, one past kindergarten. It's like, it's not the most basic, but it's pretty goddamn close. All right. All right. I've almost got to a point where I can live with looking at it for a minute. So I'm going to erase what I tried to do down here. Because it looks like garbage. use this opportunity to patch up some slightly see-through areas in my blue. There. And then I'm just going to put these white edge highlights back in. Because I like them. And then I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to call it for a night. I don't really feel like I'm doing my best work. Either painting or streaming. I'm starting to get frustrated. And I think when you start to get frustrated with something, that's an excellent time to step away for a minute. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to step away. Maybe do a little bit more homework. Maybe try and learn a little bit more. Maybe find another tutorial that explains blending in a way that my brain can comprehend. But I think we're about there for the evening. Right now, I'm just having fun painting little white lines. This is a really good brush for doing this, and I just learned that. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling with me for a couple hours while I struggle bust my way through a mini. Are you kidding? Yeah. Oh, I just broke it. I can fix it. Anyway, thanks for everybody for hanging out. I will be back on Monday during the day, do an early stream on Monday. Hopefully, I will suck less. We'll see. I doubt it, but I love you guys. Thanks for chilling with me for a while. I really appreciate it. I really do. It doesn't seem like it tonight because I'm a grump this evening, but I really do love doing this, and I love doing it on the stream, and I love doing it for you guys. So thank you guys again. I'll see you Monday, and we'll see you next time. I really need an outro. If anybody wants to write me an outro, please, for the love of God.